Hi everybody, drawninjakc here, and today I'm gonna be answering all of your glass art questions. I get a ton of questions from you guys, and I accumulated which questions answered most of all your questions, and I just came up with a list here, and I'm gonna basically go down the list answering your questions about glass art. So hopefully this video can improve your glass art or make it easier for you to approach it. I know you guys have a lot of questions about how to do glass art and how to do it correctly, because a lot of people go into it thinking that it's easy, and as you'll find out, it's not as easy as it looks. So to make it easier for you, or to make you have a better understanding, questions are going to be answered today. Okay, so let's start with question number one, shall we? First one comes from Jessica Vasquez, who says, "Awesome work. What marker did you use to trace the Goku?" Now, she's probably talking about my first glass art video, which was of Goku. And at that time, I was just beginning. I didn't know a lot about glass art, but I I did learn a lot very, very quickly. And at the time, I used a Posca pen marker to do the lines. Now I use a Posca pen, and the Posca pen worked because I was using enamel paints to do the color. The enamel paints work differently than the acrylic paints. With the acrylic paints, if you use Posca pen markers, then the acrylic paints will break down, especially cheap acrylic paint. It will break down the lines, and your lines will dissolve, and it'll turn your glass painting into a mess. At that time, I used Posca pen, but I've come to learn that the better pens to use is either the Sakura Identa and the oil-based Sharpie. Okay, second question comes from Sokins. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I'm gonna butcher all your names today, so I hope you guys realize that it's nothing personal. You just have weird names. All right, so first question comes from Sokaz, and it says, "Where did you get the brush? It's so small, I want one." And he had labels here. Actually, he's talking about one of my videos, and he stamps the time. 52 seconds into the video, he sees a little brush. And that brush, my friend, is this brush right here, and it's called Princeton Select, size 18/0. And it's very tiny, and it's very good for small details on your glass arts. Next question comes from Alexa Mendez, and it is, "Hey, question. When printing out my pictures, do I invert horizontal them first, or..." With the glass art, if you want the picture to come out correct, you have to invert it in a art editing program before you print it out, so that when it does flip over again, you get it in the correct direction. Next question from Alicia Walter. Oh, so, I'm sorry, Alicia Walton. Okay. Hello. What paint do you use? I'm sorry. I just she just sounds British. Hello. What paint do you use? Well, I'll tell you what paint I use. I use the Blick Studio acrylic paint. The other brand of paint that I use, which comes with actually somewhat of a perfect consistency for the glass art, is the Createx acrylic colors right here. Okay, these are perfect. Usually I just basically squeeze these out, put it in a little container for me to work from, and I can go to work from it without adding water or anything like that. So the Createx paint actually comes with a nice smooth fluid consistency in terms of using it for glass art. So if you want to use something that you don't want to add water to for glass art, the Createx acrylic colors in these little jars, or these little containers, or big containers, works the best. Expressive Soul has the next question. "How many layers did you use? When I tried making one, but it was spotty and I couldn't see the marker outline. Any tips?" Okay, so basically they want to know how many layers I use to finish my glass art. Basically, it takes up to maybe about, I would say, 2 or 3 layers depending on the paint you're using. The first layer, in most cases, is not going to do the job. You'll still be able to see through it. All right, and then the second layer fixes that, and then like the third layer, you don't even have to go over everything completely with the third layer, but there will be some patches where you'll be able to see light through, and the third layer can fix those. So I would say about 3 layers to be certain, okay? Okay, next question comes from Unali. Unali asks, is there any other different paint pen to get for acrylic paint? Because I bought 2 Posca pens, about 2 Posca paint pens, and they smudge. Yes, for acrylic paints, as I said before, for acrylic paints, the Posca paint pens are the worst things that you can use for your anime glass art. And reiterating, I will say that the Sakura Identi-Pen and the Sharpie, the oil-based Sharpie, are the best. I would put the oil-based Sharpie above the Sakura Identi-Pen because for me, it works better. But those 2 are the best to use that I've discovered, okay? So I hope that helps you out. All right, iGirlyGamer asks, question, how do you get the right color with not a lot of paint? I love your artwork, by the way. Well, thank you, iGirlyGamer. And the one thing that you have to realize is that not to fuss too much about getting the exact color. Green is green, red is red. Okay, there's some special colors like the skin for Killua from Hunter x Hunter, but you know, those can be easily put together. But green is green, red is red. If you want to get a darker red, if you want a shadow for the red, add a little black, touch of black. If you wanted to make it just lighter, add a touch of white. The main point here is 3 colors that you need. If you have to buy only 3 colors and you want to save money, you don't want to buy every colors. All the other colors come from 3 colors. So that's red, yellow, and blue. So once you have red, yellow, and blue, you can basically have the whole color scheme. You just have to learn how to mix all those colors, and there's lots of videos on YouTube or just charts showing you how to mix colors. So it's easy to look it up. But the main point is get red, get yellow, get blue, get black, and white in order to have basically all the colors in the spectrum, okay? So you don't have to buy all the colors. You can just buy those 5 colors actually, and then you can mix them to get all the other colors, all right? IT13 Talons Renz Joseph, that's a mouthful, asks, got any tips how to print a reference picture that actually fit into glass, because I really have a hard time doing that. I know what this is about. This is about getting the exact size for the frame. And if you don't have an art editing program like Photoshop, then it can be difficult. Now, I can't say right now what the website is. If I find it out before I launch this video, I'll put a link in the description below. But there are websites where you can upload pictures to and actually get them printed out to the size that you want to right there and then, okay? If I find the website before I upload this video, I'll put a link in the description below. Even after I upload the video, I'll look for the website and then put a link in the description below. And then you can go on that website and basically upload your graphic onto it, and then you can either flip it and turn it around or size it down to the size that you want and print it out. And Nicole Farrow asks, I have a question. Do you use something to protect the paint side like varnish or something? Sorry, my English is really bad. I've heard worse English, don't worry about it. Actually, your English is really good. That being said, I never put anything to protect the back of the glass art. I usually let it dry for at least 24 hours before putting it in a frame, except for, when I'm doing a video. A lot of times I just put it in a frame so I can shoot the end of the video. But letting it dry for 24 hours is really ideal. After that, you really don't need to put anything in the back to protect it, because I don't think it makes a difference. But if you feel more comfortable putting something in the back to protect it, I would recommend the Mod Podge. But For me personally, I don't think it makes a difference. I never really put this at the back of my anime glass art because I don't believe it's necessary. But I know that a lot of people do. So if that makes you feel better, then definitely go ahead and do it. Nothing wrong with a little extra protection. All right. Levi Ackerman. Woohoo! Levi Ackerman. Nice. I got the captain from Attack on Titan asking me questions. Woo! All right. Levi Ackerman asks, where do you get your paint squeezer and what is it called? The paint squeezer you're talking about is called the pin nibbed squeeze bottle, and this is it right here. And it comes with this little cap, which is the best thing ever because it prevents the paint from drying within the pin area right there. But I basically mix the paint in a container and I take a syringe to draw the paint out of the container and then put it into the bottle. Once it's in the bottle, you can use it to make finer details on your anime glass art and easily just paint broad areas of the glass art. And you don't have to go over layers and layers. This has a nice thick deposit of paint. Also, just make sure that the consistency of the paint is thin enough because you don't want to be squeezing too hard in order to get the paint out, or else that defeats the purpose. It's called the Pin Nib Squeeze Bottle. I'll put a link in the description below. Once you get this, life becomes a little easier. Next question comes from Karthik Sagar. I hope I'm saying that right. What framing glass do you use? Okay, what framing glass do I use? I use this frame called Format. It's awesome because it's front loading frame, and I use the front loading frame because it does show more of the artwork as opposed to the frames that come with the borders, which covers a lot of the artwork. This one completely just shows the front. It pops out on the front like this. Just showing you right here. Pops out. See, the frame is there. Basically, once you do your glass art on it, flip it over or whatever. I usually put a white paper in back of it, and then you can pop it right back into the frame like this here. So, and then you'll have a picture, boom, of the glass art. See? So it kind of looks like this when it's finished. See? Yeah, I'm flexing the Goku on y'all. It's all good. Hey, you guys want to see the glitter Goku? Check this out. Wow, all right? This is from the video how to do glitter anime glass paintings, or glitter how to do anime glass paintings with glitter. So check it out on my YouTube channel, which is where you're on right now, so you don't have far to go. All right, but I love this one right. I love this one right here. I might do a giveaway though, but I might not because this one is really cute. But I might do a giveaway for the next one, so stay tuned. All right. Anyway, that's what it looks like. All right. Next question comes from Lovey Hernandez. Lovey Hernandez question is, can you use tempera paint? No. Next question, Tavion Martin. Can someone tell me how to get the color for the skin? All right, I can go into detail about how to get the skin color, but why would I do that when I already made a video about it? So I'm gonna put the link of the video in the description below, and it completely covers all the different ways for you to be able to get the right color for the skin. All right, and I'm telling you, it's gonna blow your mind because you would never have thought it was that easy. All right, so look in the description below and you will find a link to how to get the right skin color video that I did a few months back, and I'm sure it will answer all your questions. Next questions come from Kiera Yelan. All right, I have problems with the dry paint mixing in or moving around when I add paint next to it. Instead of staying in a line, it makes my finished product look bumpy instead of straight. Any tips? Okay, obviously you are not waiting for your paint to dry before you add more paint. All right. Now, anime glass painting is a kind of long process. And it's long because before adding another color, you have to wait for one color to dry. Now, if the colors that you want to add and the colors that you have already added are not next to each other, then it's okay to add them right after each other. But if they are next to each other, you will have to wait how long ever it takes for the paint to dry before adding another color, because if you add something wet next to something wet, they're gonna bleed into each other. Okay, so I know you're excited and you want to see the art finished before it's time, but you're gonna need a little patience when you're doing glass art, because patience pays off in this particular form of art. You need to just wait till the paint dries. Next question comes from Eileen S., who asks, after my first layer of paint dries, once I put the second layer on top, the first layer cracks slightly and the second layer of paint starts to seep through. How do I fix this? Okay, I'm pretty sure you're using low quality paint, either Craft Smart or Apple Barrel, I think it's called. And those paints are not ideal for anime glass painting. They're ideal for other things, but not for anime glass painting. Anime glass painting, you'd better off be using higher quality paint, sort of like the Blick Createx or Liquitex paint that's, more of a better quality rather than like, say, Craft Smart. Craft Smart is like $1.50 a bottle, and you do get what you pay for. All right. Now, again, Craft Smart and those other paints, they're ideal for other things. But when it comes to anime glass painting, they are not ideal for that. Okay. So, sorry, Craft Smart. Let me see if I say this name right. Next question comes from Dominica Estevez. Okay. And the question is, what do you use when you finish all the paint and you don't want the paint to come off? I think I answered this question before. I don't use anything, but if you want to use something, bam. No. Bam. Mod Podge. Last question comes from Dagmill Hannah GP. Okay? And Dagmill Hannah GP, I hope I'm saying your name right, Dagmill, asks, can you do a video tutorial on how to make glass painting with glitter, please? You're welcome. I'll put a link to that in the description below as well. All right. Okay. All right, peoples, that is it for today. But there is a part 2 to this video. And in the part 2, I will be announcing the winner for the anime glass painting starter kit. All right, so if your question was answered in this video, good for you. But if it wasn't, look at part 2. There's more questions to be answered. And if it was answered, look at part 2 anyway, because you might be the winner of the anime glass painting starter kit, which includes all the stuff that I use to do my anime glass painting. One lucky subscriber, I don't know, I might feel generous, maybe 2, I don't know, will win that particular prize, and I will announce it at the end of the next video, which is part 2 to this video of answering your anime glass painting questions. This is drawninjakc saying, I'll see you next video.